And hello, South Florida. Welcome to the Monday edition, the Mondays on a Mission edition of the Real Estate Show, a show which is heard live Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. That's right, 5 days a week. Every single weekday, we are here live. We've been doing this for 22 plus years. We are live here. We are at 5, easy to remember. That's Eastern Standard Time. And we are available for you to consume or access 5 different ways. On the AM dial, 1470 to be specific. On the FM dial, several places, 95.3, 96.9. On the apps, and this is cool because you can take us with you on the go. Just to download one of the free apps, the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, the radio.com app, and that's just a few. There's probably a dozen different of these free apps you can download onto your portable device, phone, tablet, smart device, and then you can just go on and search for WWNN Money Talk Radio or WWNN 1470, and you should pop right in there as long as you're there live at 5. Otherwise, you're not going to hear this. You're going to hear something else. But from 5 to 5:30, Monday through Friday, we're there. And the other way you can listen to us, and probably the easiest to remember all the way along, just remember the word automatic landlord. And you go there on that website and click on the Real Estate Show notes. Each day we post the notes of the most recent radio show along with a link to the recording of the show in its entirety, so you can miss nothing. So either you can join us live at 5 or join us when you want. Just go there on demand. In fact, up there you can even download the podcast version and take it offline and go take it with you on a plane. Speaking about planes, I'll tell you about my flight and my little trip this last weekend. It was kind of fun, very interesting, and very appropriate to this week's. And then finally, the fifth and final way is on our Facebook page. Yes, the Real Estate Show has a Facebook page where we go live every weekday at 5. So one more way, the fifth way, that you can find our radio show and stay plugged into what's going on in real estate. Well, I'm excited. First of all, this week is going to be a busy week. I got a number of activities, workshops, and things that I want to share with you. Most importantly, our Tuesday Fearless First Time Home Buyers Workshop is back, and this may be the last one of the year. So we got Thanksgiving coming up the next week, and then of course a whole bunch of holidays in December. So this may be the last one for a while, at least until next year. Can you believe it? We're now looking at 2022, and I got huge plans. We're going to talk about that in the next couple of weeks as we set the groundwork, the foundation for the coming year. Exciting. In fact, I even already have, believe it or not, I already have plans where I'm going to be on December 12th. So 12/12/22 at noon. In fact, if you want to join me, it's going to be a fun event in the Bahamas. So a number of us who have set these goals, and we set these goals together, and then we're all going to be on the beach, and we have the exact spot picked out at the exact time, 12/12/22, and that will take place at noon. And 12/12/22, the year 2022 sounds so far away, and yet it is not. It's just I guess what would you call it? Today is the 15th, so basically we got half a month plus a month. So we got a year, 1.5 months away for some big, very, very lofty goals. But we're going to hit them. And if you want to set some goals with us, which we're going to do over the next couple of weeks here on the radio show, as we're going to make 2022 the best year ever. And as we emerge from the pandemic, as all of the drama hopefully begins to subside, we're gonna face some obstacles coming up. We already know about the inflation story. We know about rising interest rates, and that's why this workshop is really critical. And I'm going to say that there's two types of people that absolutely should come and attend this workshop. The workshop, which is free, It is online, so you don't have to get out of your footsie pajamas. If you work from home, stay at home. If you work late in the office, stay in the office. All you have to do is text the letters, 3 letters, and this is going to be one of the central themes of tomorrow night's Fearless First Time Homebuyers. Now, as I always like to remind you, by the way, what are the letters? DPA. And it's because we're centered a lot around the down payment aspect, right? And understanding that there are 3 critical pieces to buying a home. It is number 1, the down payment. No down payment, no house, right? Well, not exactly. We're going to show you how to get a down payment award, a non-repayable down payment given to you, basically a gift, an award. And so that's why DPA, text it to 561-861-2366. We have a number of these, and of course this is not unlimited, so I hate to sound like a commercial, but it is a limited offer. It is on a first come, first qualified basis. But as you know, and I will say this again, I'll say it today, I'll say it every day, is that you show me somebody who is committed, coachable, and cooperative, I'll show you how to get one of those down payment awards, and you become a homeowner and make your 2022. We're basically less than 45 days away from the end of the year, so we got a lot of work to do in a short period of time. If you want to be one of those folks that's going to join us, and you know what, I don't know whether we're going to do this virtually as well. In other words, will we stream this meeting? And we're all planning. Everyone's going to have a beverage of choice to toast for having reached these goals. And very cool. We're going to talk more about that. But I want you to understand that this Tuesday, here's who should be there. Number 1, if you've never owned a home but have thought about or dreamed about owning a home, then you want to attend. It's going to be about an hour or so long, give or take maybe 10 minutes, so it's not going to be a long drawn out thing. We're going to hit the high points. We're going to hit the main points, but that's the critical thing, is that we're going to show you how to start this off, and for you to attend free. Now, we do have limited space on that as well. It is not, all you have to do is text DPA to 561-861-2366. That's again, DPA. Text DPA to 561-861-2366. This is an automated line. It will give you an automated response, and then followed, once it gives you the confirmation, within a few hours, it will also give you a link, a password protected link, so that you can attend the workshop. Now, I said if you've never owned a home, that's one person. And let me just tell you, if I haven't made the case enough over the last several weeks, months even, that real estate is the place to be. I've laid it out in logic. I've laid it out in the math, and it is math that tells you that there's no other place to be. There's no other more predictable, more reliable investment vehicle out there than real estate. There's no more necessary, right? Food, shelter, and transportation. There's no more necessary. Everybody needs shelter, and why not own the shelter that appreciates over time, that can be turned into an income generating asset, an appreciating asset, a tax advantaged asset, and that's just to name a few, including the leverage and so forth. So we're going to talk about these down payment awards that are available, down payment assistance that's available, and like I said, the down payment aspect of one of the 3 critical pieces. And what are the other critical pieces as well? Well, number 1 is the down payment. Somewhere between 0 and 100% is the down payment, right? There's always a down payment. Somebody will pay the down payment. What I want to do is show you that if you're coachable, cooperative, and come to the workshop, how you can get a down payment award without having to reach into your pocket. Number 2 is income, right? At the end of the day, if you can't afford to buy, you have to afford to buy it on payments. And if you can't afford to buy it on payments either, now you got to pay rent. right? So one way or another, you're going to pay something, but would you rather pay it to somebody else's wealth, or would you rather pay it to your wealth building asset, your house, your shelter? You're going to have it anyway. And that's why if you've never owned a house and want to own a house, and you should own a house, DPA, text it to the number. I'm going to give it to you in a second. Number two, if you had a house and for any reason, and I don't care what the reason is, other than the fact that if you're in jail, then that's a whole other story. But if for any reason you haven't been a homeowner for 3 years and are wondering how to get back into home ownership, then you want to attend this workshop, because I'm going to show you some things that are going to blow your mind. Now, last night I was coming back. It was, we landed around 12:30. By the time we got into into our Uber coming back from the airport, I had a great conversation with the gentleman Uber driver who was an immigrant who came here, obviously after the American dream. And like I said, I want this goal here of our radio show is to enable more residents. And I don't care whether you were born here or not born here. If you want to be here and you love the United States, then I want to show you how to own a piece of it, and own a piece of it for the long run. And he was telling me, and this is purely, just the lack of good information being available in more places, which is why we're trying to get this out. But he was saying it's too soon. He's been here for a number of years, right? Legally here, Social Security here. He's had enough time to do all of that. And I said, so why are you interested in buying a house? Yes, I am. Well, why do you own one now? No, I don't. And he goes, why? Well, because the houses are expensive. Yes, they are. He wants to save up a down payment. Good idea. How much do you want to save? I don't know, he says. And I said, listen, how can you have a goal if it's not specific? What they say about SMART goals, right? It's got to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time specific as well. It's got to be specific. It's got to be clear. You got to be able to measure it. You got to be able to define what it is in every way, physically, logically, time-wise, etc. And so here he is, in my opinion, and this guy is a hard worker. He's working, incredible hours, every day of the week. And I know he's putting money away. And I know, without even asking the number, that he has what it takes to own a house. So, of course, I invited him to come to our workshop. Hopefully he'll be able to make it, squeeze it in between runs. But I told him it's very important. And that's tomorrow night, Tuesday, November 16th. Thank you, Susanna, who's typing all of that into our Facebook. All of our information is on our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Real Estate Show. Altogether, one word, The Real Estate Show. Search it up in Facebook if you already have a Facebook page. And you'll be able to get a lot of this information, the phone numbers, the websites, and so forth. But I really want those two types. Now, there's a third type of person who also really should be coming to our Fearless First-Time Homebuyer, and that's the real estate investor. And even though today's show, I'm not talking so much to them, but if you think about it, I'm actually talking for you, because if when an investor buys a house, fixes it up, gets it ready to put back on the market, he is thinking, in most cases, about a homeowner, somebody who really wants to own a home, oftentimes doesn't have all of those things lined up, and therefore they don't qualify, and the investor wastes a lot of time. Imagine if I could show you a way to not only get pre-qualified buyers to buy your house, but what if I could show you a way to make sure that none of them fall out in the process of qualifying for your house? And so that's another reason why you want to text the letters DPA, down payment award, or down payment assistance, however you want to do it. But the letters are DPA. Text it to 561-861-2366. Now we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, hear a few words from our sponsors. When I come back from that break. We're going to talk we're going to cover a couple more of the items that are going to be in the workshop. It's that important. It's the last one of the year. And we're going to go ahead and really put it on the line for you tomorrow night. And I want you to be there. It's free. It's informational. It's lots of good stuff. And anyway, we're going to take that break. Don't touch that dial. I'll be right back. Hey, Susanna, always thank you for that. I really appreciate you typing in that information that way. Even not only the people who are watching us live here on Facebook, but also those people who will listen. You know, we have more listeners after the show that come and watch this. You know, when I see the stats in the back office of the Reach, it's several times what are on the live. And you know what's crazy is that, you know, when I see the live and it gives me a number and I see, you know, I see 7 or 8 people who are actively typing in there, and sometimes it says 1. There's 1 person, so I see that number has nothing to do with anything. But it was really cool, and I actually had great conversations with the Uber driver on the way to the airport last week, and so, you know, some of you might have noticed that the Friday show mismatched the week. We usually summarize the whole week, and we had to run the Friday from the week before as a recording on Friday. And we seldom run recordings, but we just couldn't. We had such a full schedule. And I was the speaker for a presentation to I don't know, a couple hundred people, but it was a hybrid event, a full room live, plus it was streaming live across the country. Anyway, we're coming back, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. And welcome back. For those of you just joining us here on the Real Estate Show, South Florida's #1 program about real estate, America's longest. So it's not just South Florida's longest running radio show about real estate, but America's longest running daily radio show that has been live and 5 days a week for now 22 plus years. You know, started in 1999. So in 2022, which I'm really excited about, because I was hanging around some really fun, positive, proactive, you know, people who are really intent, and that's important. Really intent was the word, on making a better future for themselves. You know, so that gets reflected in their attitude, that gets reflected in their actions. It gets reflected in so many different ways. And so those are the kind of people I absolutely love hanging around with. And so when I have the opportunity to speak to these kinds of groups, I could do that over and over. And even though I was there in a professional capacity, sharing information, knowledge, and showing some really cool strategies that I'm going to share with you guys on the radio. Maybe next week we'll even get into this. And these were, you know, really strong equity building strategies. So if you are a realtor out there, imagine being able to sell a house, close on it, and instead of just giving, you know, a cheesy basket or a cheese basket, or you know, a basket of wine or something, you were able to give your homeowners something of really great and unique value, something that will make them remember you different than anybody else. Because in addition to having helped them through the difficult and sometimes complicated process of getting a new home, you also show them how to pay off the home faster, how to build equity in the home several different ways, so that they become a complete homeowner. In fact, that reminds me, on my way to the airport, going to the airport, I had an Uber come pick me up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Uber driver comes in, picks us up. It's obviously pitch black dark. Put the luggage in the car, get in the car, and we start driving. And he was, you know, he's awake and alive at 5 o'clock. I asked him if I was his first or last ride, which I always like to ask the Uber drivers. and to find out whether I'm the last thing that they need to get done before they get to go home and go to sleep, or whether I'm the first one or somewhere in the middle. And he was saying that he's been up since 3 o'clock in the morning, and he works every day and as an additional job. Again, I love these hardworking people. Uber drivers generally are really cool people. So he starts at 3 and works until 7. So I was somewhere in the middle. I asked him if that was his full-time. Did he do anything else? And he did have another full-time job. And we started talking about he also is in the financial services business, believe it or not. And I said, listen, I'm going up to give a presentation on how to build equity. Do you own your own home? And he said yes. But he made a comment right afterwards, which I thought was very interesting. And I've heard this many times. So it's not that it's surprising because I've never heard it. It's surprising because of what people think or believe. And so I said, do you live around here? Do you own your own home? Yes. And when I asked him if you own your own home, he said, yes, but. And that was the first thing. It was, yes, but. Really, the bank owns the house. I just pay the bank. And I said, no, if you want to get technical, you do own the house. Hey, John. Hey, Felipe. That just came on there. And William on our Facebook Live. And I said, you own the house. Your name is on title, not the bank. The bank has a lien on the house if you don't pay it. But as long as you pay the payment for the loan that they gave you in order to buy the house stays in your name. And so, but how would you like to be able to get rid of that lien faster without having to work a third job? In other words, you don't have to make any more money than what you're making today. If I could show you a way to get rid of the bank faster, would you be interested? And of course, he lit up. He was an ambitious person who was working from 3 a.m. until 7 a.m. before his other job, because he wants to make more progress than he would just by following, the regular 9 to 5 and, be subject to lockdowns and pandemics. In fact, both of my Uber drivers, the one that took me to the airport and the one that last night brought me back from the airport, both were in the hospitality business before they got shut down, locked down. And even today, because I asked either one of them, would you go back, or are you going to go back? And both of them kind of shook their heads, which, by the way, takes me to another subject. And, I could spend a whole week on talking about jobs that aren't coming back. And what's very interesting is I was listening to a news article. And I don't listen to the news very much because of the negativity and the political bias. So there's only a couple of stations that I listen to that I feel are not biased one way or the other. And they were talking about how record numbers of Americans are quitting their job. Of course, that has to catch your attention. So they were saying that they were quitting their jobs, and I'm thinking, they're quitting the jobs and not working, and that's not the case. The record number of people are quitting because they realize that now is a great time to make a move because of the shortage of employment worldwide, and the workforce is short worldwide. If you are good at what you're doing, or you want to do something different, right now is the time to make the change, because everybody's looking to hire. So you can afford to quit one job because there's several jobs out there waiting for you. Now, there are a number of people that are quitting their jobs and not going back to work. Some are fearful. They don't feel safe in a workplace, in a business with a lot of people. So they're going out and working on their own. But it's a very interesting dynamic, but that neither of these drivers were really intending to go back what they were doing before the pandemic. And both of them were invited to my Fearless First Time Homebuyer Workshop. A lot to learn. I hope that you'll take me up on that invitation. All you have to do to accept that free invitation, no cost, no obligation whatsoever. You can come, listen, learn, and then go on your merry way. But in order to do that, you have to text the letters DPA to 561-861-2366. Very important to get the numbers right. 561 861-2366. And very easy, the three letters together, DPA, for down payment awards, down payment assistance, Daniel Paul Allen, whatever you want it to be. But that's your free ticket into the workshop that is tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Tuesday, November the 16th. The Fearless First-Time Homebuyers. When you finish that workshop, you're going to realize that there's nothing to be scared of, and the time is now, before interest rates go up, before home prices continue to go up, and so forth. So, well, that's it for me. That's all the time I got today, but I will be back, same place, same time tomorrow, live. So until then, this is your host, Eric Wilner, signing off. Drive safe and make it a great day. Bye-bye.